notes from my November 2024 reading of a 2019 biography of Greta Thunberg. Today is Tuesday, 26 November 2024. I wrote it a little bit faster than I thought I would. Okay. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, Seattle. I'm going to talk through my book and reading notes from my November 2024 reading of a biography on Swedish political activists. In parentheses, I came up with, I kind of classified it as a business influencer. Okay. Swedish political activist, in parentheses, business influencer, Greta Thunberg. So this is Greta's story, the schoolgirl who went on strike to save the planet, by Valentina Camerini, English translation by Moreno Giovannoni. 2019 Aladdin edition, hardcover, ISBN in the video description. I read the book on Tuesday, 26 November 2024, which is today. It's 127 pages one day, 127 pages Tuesday. Yeah, I was, yes. Yeah, it's a public library copy, and I decided to go back and grab it. I've done a book notes on this before, which I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I did decide to lower my rating after reading it. But I was like, get a short, I've done, what, this is book number 9 for this month, November 2024, and this is like the second 100-some page juvenile biography. So I've done meaty books, and I was like, I should throw in like a shorter book, because I did the Steve Jobs one, but I was like, do this. And then business influencer, yeah, if somebody's going to influence policy and or political activists, right, the end result there is they want to influence people's businesses and stuff like that, and especially with what she did. So it's like business influencer. Yes, this is definitely, it's like the entire industry of lobbying. No, I don't, okay. But there we go. All right. Book notes, including construction and design. So there's illustration, I guess I could call it, on the front, and there's illustrations kind of throughout, which I'm not going to show. It was large with like 1.25 to 1.5 spacing, so it read quite quickly. It took me less time to read it than I thought it would. It took me about 2 hours. I did actually like think about it as I read it, but I was like, there we go. So yeah, there we go. And then there's little leaves kind of for breaks and paragraphs. It was a good size. It was a fast read. Yeah, there. All right, reading notes. I decided not to do the little flags this time, and I had typed up a bunch of stuff. So essentially, this is somebody who 20 August 2018 started going on strike, and she didn't want to go to school. So she was like, I'm just gonna do this instead. And so she went and was like, you know, like save the planet kind of thing. That's been a thing for as long as I've been alive, and I was brought into this world in the early to mid 1990s. So I brought up that Al Gore biography, and he was doing that back in the 1970s. Yeah, so like very reiterated for the past over 50 years. So not really anything new topically there. I have not ever met the gal, Greta Thunberg. I do not know the gal, and based on the content of this book, I would reckon she does not even know my name. In terms of relevance for my own life story on like people going on strike, well, the people going on strike is not me going on strike, but in the first half of 2018, so before she did this, I struck, I don't know how to phrase it. I went on strike one day. To date, still the only time I have gone on strike. It was in relation to payment of staff at the University of California, Berkeley. And professors are not staff. For university level terminology, there's faculty and staff. So if you say staff and you're referring to faculty, you're wrong. It's called faculty. Okay, professors are faculty. Okay, it's because I went on strike about the payment of the staff, not the faculty, because the staff had problems with payment, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do this one time. And so I'm a believer of if you take more than one strike, more than one day to make your point, you've done it wrong. It's just the one time for me, and it being about meeting here, and yeah, so there we go. there was a midterm exam for the it was a what people call a teaching assistant for a history of planet Earth class. And did she copy me? No, because I only did it once. Okay. And I was a graduate student, university level. Okay. Like in geophysics. Okay. And Ms. Greta Thunberg was 15 years old. Not in a university setting. So there we go. Yeah. So it was a little bit different. Oh, and there was an exam and there was a strike that day and we could choose to join in or not. And I was like, I'll do it once and only once. Okay. So that was that. And I had a very kind, the professor of the course was very kind and considerate and welcomed my activity. His name was Bruce Buffett. Okay. Good. Okay. For him. All right. It says in the book, well, how to phrase this. To the best of my knowing, Greta Thunberg was not nominated for any Nobel Prize in any category in 2019 or any other year. Though to be fair, I, Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, have not ever won a Nobel Prize in any category myself. Okay. I have not even nominated anyone for a Nobel Prize in any category. Meaning I have not nominated Greta Thunberg for a Nobel Prize in any category. I have not ever nominated anyone for an award, period, to the best of my recollection. So like Nobel Prize or otherwise. Okay. If I do win a Nobel Prize or other big prize and start nominating people, perhaps I should publicly publish who I nominate at the time to avoid any potential confusion. If I win more than one different prize, perhaps I will nominate a person, such as Burkhard Malitzer, for more than one prize as well. Yes. I have not ever encountered somebody saying, I nominated Greta Thunberg for a Nobel Prize, but I have not. And I would hope not, because she's not somebody I would nominate. Okay. I cannot begin to, okay, and then, so, yeah, that was brought up in this book multiple times, and I was like, that was one that most of us were like, that's a fictional press. The press are making that up. It's a fictional nomination. It's not a real one. Okay. So kind of, and that was brought up in here multiple times. The fictitious one, but they say it was real, and it was not real. Okay. I cannot begin to fathom the amount of privilege she has. I'm trying to put this as nice as possible. She claims plugging in an electric vehicle for charging on a road trip constitutes hard work. She's had a hard life. It's been hard work because she has to charge a car on a road trip. And I'm like, America doesn't look so bad now, does it? Like, I mean, seriously. I was like, like flamin' privilege right there. Okay. I just, okay, those are like the shock value of like, wow, not much up there, or at least not like in terms of like understanding the state of the world and the people of the world on the people of planet Earth. Okay. So I just, whoa, like it was a big whoa. Okay. The authors fixate on, this is another big, the authors fixate on the image of Greta Thunberg speaking via microphone in her hand. Is that the modern take of a woman having a man's balls in her hands? Has him by the balls. That's like the phrase. Man, she is sexual for a 15-year-old political activist. Or is she a late bloomer? Are political activists out there making sexual innuendos when they're 9? She's actually a late bloomer. I don't know. But I was just like, my rating for this book has changed. Okay, so in conclusion, it marked full book number 66 for me for the 2024 year. I demote my rating on this item from 4 stars to 2 stars, but it's still worth it. Like, if you don't know anything about the person, it's worth a read. So like, it's still 2 stars. Okay. As I simply do not like the person. Okay. She in no way represents me nor my Sami ancestry. She and all other invasive Scandinavians are encouraged to leave the lands of my ancestors and restore it / return it to its original peoples. Yes. So there we go. there's no, not for me, right? Not my taste, not my cup of tea. So 2 out of 5 from me. So those are my notes. And I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers, Seattle. So my notes for my November 2024 reading of a 2019 biography of Greta Thunberg.